All right. Well, welcome back.
Hello.
It's been a minute.
A little pause.
I missed you a little bit.
Oh, feelings mutual.
Well, that time's coming where tax season's right around the corner, and you guys are cranking up.
Yeah.
Our building is full of people now, and
It's getting wild.
we have a new president on the way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of what we missed out on was the election, and then I think we finished up all our trade shows.
Those are all done now?
Yeah, we have a Nagozi event coming up next week. So it's like a service bureau conference.
It's called Nagozi.
Nagozi, yep.
It's a fun word to say.
It's a good group, so we're looking forward to it.
Nice.
That's in Texas. Other than that, I don't think we really had much going on. We finished up the webinars. Batul's webinar was a hit. Get a hand clap for Batul. Yeah. We're doing another one, right? Yeah. So next Tuesday.
Oh.
So
you doing it?
No.
Why aren't you doing it?
It's Batul's. It's the digital marketing kit.
Ah.
Yeah. So it's a great tool for everyone.
Yeah. You should help her. Be nice.
And she's got it under control.
Okay.
So what I kind of wanted to go over today was basically, since Trump will be in office soon, we can go over some of the things that he's kind of went over during the campaign and that stuff. So I know in previous pods we've touched on some of these.
A few of what he's thrown out there, yeah.
We can go through the list, but anyone particular that stuck out to you that you wanted to discuss first?
I mean, a couple of the ones I don't think I caught originally, ones that we talked, was reinstating the unlimited itemized deductions for assault, and his created deduction for auto loan interest. And then I don't know if I saw anything about the family caregivers credit.
Yeah, that one I couldn't find any information on.
I think when I was reading through one of the articles, it says there's been no real outline for it, and I'd probably just assume it's either going to be something on some schedule where you check it and it's X amount of dollars. Now, what kind of proof or justifications for taking the credit you'll need, who knows?
What do they mean? Like they work kind of like the was it child care credit?
I don't know. Well, I guess it could. I kind of took it as maybe if you had someone in your home that you were taking care of, like a
right. But
parent.
I'm just saying that because it kind of worked the same way that credit works.
Well, that could be possible.
You just have to name.
I mean, that could probably be possible. Some sort of expenses that you spend for that, or maybe it's just.
Or you have to put that person's social on there.
Your
like, this is the person I'm
probably
taking care
claiming the person, and then it's some sort of a like child tax credit type thing, or who knows. If it even goes through, I'm sure it'll get laid out more. But that one, that was a new one I don't think I'd seen before.
Yeah. Well, I think the one that's probably a given is this TCJA. They're probably going to extend that for 20. It comes up next year, right? It expires in 2025.
2026. Maybe it expires in 2026.
Maybe I have to look that up. Can you do a quick search for that? You can search it on this screen and see the TCJA expiration date.
One of those articles had it. I thought I saw 2026, but I don't know if it still exists in the 2026 tax season or it only exists through 25 tax season.
Go to the first one right down. Yeah, that's fine.
It ends at the end of 2025, so it might just be through the 25 filing season.
Mm-hmm. Right there. Yeah. Yeah, so the last day of 2025 is when they expire.
Yeah, we're both right.
Yeah. Hey, I'm glad we have Batul here.
I've heard it both ways.
A little bit of fact checking. This is Thomas Reuters. But, yeah, I would assume that they would extend those. Now, whatever they do with the salt, that might be different. That's what I've been hearing. They're trying to do something maybe different with that one.
Well, and I think what I'd read in there, which kind of makes sense, caps at 10,000, and that's for all individuals filing, so it's not taken into account. So maybe it stays 10,000 for single filers, and then does like it does for most credits, doubles to 20,000 for married filing joint filers, or some version of that. Well, I guess we'll just have to see, but it wouldn't make sense. Most other credits, when you're having limitations upon those, take into account whether you're a single filer or a married filer. So there's usually some sort of increase for married filers.
Yeah. One of the other ones, the business tax, I think he's going to try to lower that rate down to 20. He even looked like he was going to try to lower it to 15% if your company was made their products in the United States. So, I mean, that's going to
be huge for them.
Right. A lot of companies, I know his thing is trying to get more companies based out of the United States.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, just on the surface of that, I would think a lot of people would like that. Now, there's probably some economical things that go along with that.
Yeah, that one article had my head spinning, reading through all their proposals.
The Tax Foundation?
Yeah.
Yeah, they go in depth on that. The other one, increasing the child tax credit, that one's gonna get a lot of headlines when they do that.
Yeah, but it's kind of like the discussion on that's died off. I mean, at first they were saying that in almost every interview, and now it hasn't really been brought up, I don't think.
Yeah, I think, I mean, when they first started campaigning, they all came out with like their tax policies, and then those quickly died off, and it went into other major factors that helped them push the campaign.
Sure, there'll be definitely some more talk about it probably in the coming year.
Yeah, but I think, I mean, this is just increasing it to 5. And I don't think there's been any discussion of like when they did the advanced portion, remember?
Yeah. Boy, I hope they don't bring that back.
Well, there's probably a lot of people that disagree with you.
Yeah, I'm sure. For strictly accounting or tax purposes of reporting it, that part was a nightmare.
Yeah, I don't think, to be honest, I don't think a lot of people understood how it worked. And they were quite surprised when they went and filed their tax return that their refund that they normally are used to getting was quite lower.
Right.
But yeah, simple on that one. The child tax credit, I think they're just looking to raise it to 5,000.
Yeah. Who knows if it'll get to that number, but I'm sure it'll be increased off of what it is now. Probably give it a better jump. Yeah.
The Social Security benefits, so he's talked about exempting those, which I'll go over kind of what it currently is. So, and correct me if I'm wrong.
I will.
Taxpayers who earn less than $25,000 or $32,000 for joint filers, there's no tax on their benefits. And then households earning for $34,000 for the single filers or $44,000 for joint, pay up to 50% tax. Yeah. And then above those levels, you're taxed 85%.
Yeah. So basically, there's a calculation of your income plus. It's been a while since I've had to do it by hand, but plus your half your Social Security income or something. If it's above that threshold, then a certain percentage of it does get taken into account. So, I mean, I guess it's nice that he's throwing that out there, but it's already pretty well largely untaxable.
Yeah, they were saying like the benefit of it. I mean, there's not a lot of tax coming from that. This article is from the Tax Foundation. They say both. So that tax that goes into those goes into 2 trust funds basically. So there's a Social Security trust fund and a Medicare trust fund that both those tax dollars go into. And this article saying it's like basically if he did that, it would just drain those funds.
Tank them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly one possibility. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if a lot of these or any of these or some version of these get passed. Especially, I mean, I guess I don't know how they would do that, or there'd probably be some sort of calculation, report it still, but it doesn't go into taxable income, or just don't report it. But, I mean, there's definitely going to be a large number of people who do see some benefit to it, but also a good majority of people that still just the same as normal.
Yeah. The other one was the tip income, which both candidates liked. And so I think the question on that is, are they exempting the payroll portion of that as well? So I think that's something, if it goes into effect at all, exempting tip income on one side versus doing it on both.
And then with that too, and I think maybe we might have talked about it a while ago, that's good for some, but some want to report that tip income as earned income because that affects their earned income credit.
Yep.
And so if it's just straight exempt, what are they going to do in that aspect of it? Because now you're, messing with their EIC amount. For better or worse, sometimes, the more you earn, the more you get after a certain point. So the people that are after the certain point, they certainly don't want to report it so it doesn't decrease their EIC. But the pertinent people who are under it definitely want that additional boost to get the more earned income credit. So
yeah, the article I was reading was like the window of people that like this would actually like help is very small.
Yeah.
So I think it was like 2.5% of the working population would benefit from it.
Really?
But yeah, then that comes into effect is like, okay, well now where's like all my income's gone now on my tax return. Now I get no credit, no refund. I'm not used to any of that. So something to think about.
That one I could see probably getting scrapped. Or some alteration of it in a way to make sense, but
yeah. It's all up in the air at this point. Also exempting overtime pay. I think we've discussed that on a previous pod. Thoughts on that one?
Well, I don't get overtime, but if I did, I'd be a fan. That would just be an interesting way to see how they handle it. Does it have to be, your 40 hours is reported on one W-2, your overtime is reported on another one, or maybe there's a new form, or how does that get entered, or how does that work for payroll, and how does that work in the tax system? Good for the people that get it. Everybody would probably be thrilled about that. I'm just thinking of a tax purpose and a payroll purpose, what they would be doing for that exactly.
Yeah.
I see that one being favorable to a lot because overtime pay does tend to get taxed at a little bit higher rate, and so that additional money would help a lot of people.
Yeah, I think companies would adjust to it as well. Now
they have no choice.
Yeah. Well, I'm just talking about like, okay, now we're gonna have a lot more overtime.
Yeah.
And now people are gonna be working a lot more.
Or just have no overtime so they don't have that headache.
Yeah.
And more employees.
Yeah.
Could be.
The next one on the list was creating the deduction for auto loan interest. This one was kind of thrown out there towards the end. And the one item I saw was like you'd get a credit, what was it? If you purchased this vehicle, if it was a domestic.
Really? Okay.
It was built in the U.S. basically. You'd get this deduction. So I haven't really seen too much more on that.
Yeah, there hasn't been much information that I've seen other than it being a Schedule A itemized deduction. So, again...
Yeah, conveniently came out and said this in Detroit, so...
Yeah.
They liked it there.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see on that one. The other one... Any more that you had on Trump, except for the hopes that he just doesn't wipe out the entire income tax and replace it with tariffs?
Yeah, I hope the tax field stays. I'm kind of dependent upon that.
Yeah, I think there was some the scenarios that I saw was keeping the personal income tax and then basically increasing tariffs, just overall.
Yeah.
And then really increasing it for China. So
Yeah,
I don't think, I haven't really seen any kind of concepts of a plan.
All the tariff stuff is just way over my head.
Yeah. I think he's, on the surface is trying to encourage people to make everything American made.
Yeah. American made, buy local.
And if you're not, then you're going to pay pay for it. So
yeah, impose universal baseline tariffs on all U.S. imports of 10 to 20%. But yeah, on the China up to 60% tariff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the hopes that he doesn't just eliminate personal income tax for everyone on this pod's.
Yeah, that'd be my personal preference is that it stays around and doesn't go away. I don't see how it would go away.
Yeah. In the one article, can you click over? I think it's the first tab, or maybe it's the third tab. Sorry. Yep, that one. Is this like the big one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So scroll down. I think, what was the number? 3 trillion they estimated. I think this tax foundation, they estimated that his tax plan would lose, it'd be a deficit of $3 trillion. But the tariffs, if they were at like 20%, would make up 4. I can't remember what exactly what it was. Yeah, just keep going. I think there's a chart towards the bottom here. Keep going. Right, it's like a vertical one right there. Yeah, so you see the total. Okay, so the total tax cuts, I think that's 7 trillion. See there on the chart. And then if you scroll down a little bit, I think the tariffs and energy credits make up 4.7. So we're still in the hole.
Yeah.
According to this taxfoundation.org.
Yeah, it'll be, obviously it's all speculative, but that's $3 trillion of government revenue that it collects from individuals.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the way they're phrasing this. So all these.
Yeah, I thought that was very interesting. They do a good job of breaking that down. What were you saying?
What's that?
What were you saying? That cut you off?
I don't know. I lost my train of thought there. Looking at this stuff sent my mind into a spiral.
Yeah, there's a lot on it. We'll leave it in the show notes, but yeah, according to them, it's a $3 trillion hit.
Yeah,
that they're going to take over whatever many years.
I think it was over a 10-year
10-year span. Yeah.
There's a lot of time in that 10-year span to figure out ways to boost it up. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. It'd be cool to see. Interesting to see what kind of changes actually take place when they get implemented and how they'll get implemented, if they get implemented. Time will tell.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely more to follow.
Yeah.
Every day there's more stuff coming about, forming his cabinet and all that kind of stuff. So we'll have to just wait and see how it all shakes out. Meanwhile, we have a real tax season coming for us.
It's fastly approaching.
Yes, it is. I can't believe it's almost Thanksgiving.
I know.
And then because after that, it's just go time.
Yeah. Once Thanksgiving's over, then it's all of a sudden April for me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always fun, exciting.
Yeah. We have, so not this month, but so we have the digital marketing kit webinar coming up next week. But after that, I think our the rest of our webinar series starts back up.
Starts coming out with more.
Yeah, like software
functionality usage, and then is there some tax code update, isn't there?
Yeah, we have always do 2 of them. Mm-hmm. So we'll do one pretty soon, and then we'll do one in January. And those are our bigger ones. Then the other ones are, show people how to use our software and what's new in the software, like Zapier.
Zapier makes you happier. That's I think that's the real slogan.
Oh. Yeah, I'm excited for it. I know we're starting to see a lot more of it around here and getting to dive into it. And hopefully maybe on the next podcast I can bring it up. Yeah. And we can click through
it a little bit more and seeing how it's going to function inside the software and different aspects of it. It should make, it's easy to set up and you can kind of really customize it to how you want to do it. And all the different functions that can branch off of it. It's pretty neat, pretty simple to use once you get it set. And just fires away to all the systems and apps you want it to.
Yeah, I mean, even if you had just wanted some basic automation in your business, I mean, let's pick 3 automations that will help your life.
Yeah.
Set them up in Zapier, communicate automatically with CrossLink into whatever you're using.
Whatever sheet you want, especially like events of returns being paid, you can now automatically have a file or a spreadsheet set up where that gets sent to, and it's one spot, easy spot to check to see what the revenue was and this and that. So pretty slick.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. All right, man. Anything else you got for today except for me, squeaking by a victory in fantasy football? You thought I was going to let you get out of here without that?
I was hoping you'd forget.
That was like the worst week I've had, and you had your boy back.
My boy was back.
But he just couldn't get you like another touchdown would have took you there.
So I looked at once and I was smoking it. Then I looked again, it was coming back. Then I had no chance of winning, and it still lost.
I'm on a heater. I have won like 7 in a row, and I'm in first place. And the belt is coming back to the rightful owner.
As commissioner, I can directly impact the results of your game.
Yeah, and we will have to put in some protection around that.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, I might have a
sub some players in there that you thought you put on the bench, and no, they're back.
Oh,
adjust some numbers to the scores.
Yeah,
be great.
But yeah, hand clap for me because I beat you twice.
I'm happy for you. What was it last year? You started off like 0-7, so you deserve this.
Thanks.
Couldn't have lost to a better guy.
I hope everyone hears that.
Cut that.
All right, man. We will touch back next week.
All right.
All right. Thanks.
See you. Bye.